Good evening and welcome to the City Council meeting for tonight, Tuesday, February 20th, 6:30 p.m. I'm City Council President Jason Solomon sitting in for Mayor Steve Allender, who's out of town at the moment, and we'll move to a roll call and determination of quorum, please.
Can't get it. Drew? Nordstrom? Modrick? Solomon?
Here?
Lewis? Armstrong? Laurenti? Drury? Roberts? We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Next, we'll move to the invocation with Pastor Greg Heyman from First Baptist Church, and then we'll follow that with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise.
I would invite you to join me in prayer. We are grateful for our city and for its leaders, and we pray for wisdom and discernment. And when there are two different ways in front of us, we ask for wisdom to know which way to choose. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag and to the republic. Thank you. We'll now move on to the adoption of the agenda. Do I have a motion to adopt? Second. We have a motion by Lewis, second by Armstrong. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Next, we're going to have our awards and recognitions, and we're going to present the Veteran of the Month to George Wallace. Is this on? You can hear me? All right. I am very honored to present this month's Veteran of the Month to Mr. George Wallace. In partnership with the Veterans Coordination Commission, we are pleased to present the February 2018 Veteran of the Month to George B. Wallace. As the United States found itself deeply embroiled in a war in Vietnam, and just 2 years out of high school, George Wallace saw an opportunity to join the United States Air Force in 1965. This began a 26 career with the Air Force. Mr. Wallace now considers his enlistment as one of the best decisions of his life. Mr. Wallace spent a total of 15 years overseas, serving tours in Thailand, Great Britain, Iceland, Turkey, and Spain. In 1968, Mr. Wallace worked at a Strategic Air Command B-52 based in Thailand. While there, he worked in a hospital in food service, preparing and cooking meals for many patients who were injured in Vietnam. In Royal Air Force Greenham Common, England, Mr. Wallace served as a food service accountant from 1969 to 1972. Mr. Wallace arrived at Ellsworth Air Force Base, South Dakota in January of 1973, just 6 months after the Rapid City flood. At that time, he continued as a food service specialist and accountant. Those go hand in hand, right? Yeah. He left Ellsworth in November of '75 for a 2-year tour in Iceland, where he served as a dining facility supervisor for the 932nd Aircraft Control and Warning Squadron. He returned to Ellsworth in December of 1977 and was assigned as a journalist and public affairs specialist. This began a lifelong love for journalism and public affairs. Mr. Wallace again left Ellsworth in December of 1980 for a 2-year tour in Turkey and was assigned as a public affairs specialist as a NATO mission at the 6th Allied Tactical Air Force. Mr. Wallace left Turkey in December of 1982 and returned to England as a public affairs supervisor for the 501st Tactical Missile Wing at Royal Air Force Greenham Common. It was at this base where the 501st became the first ground-launched cruise missile wing in the Air Force. Mr. Wallace was reassigned in 1985 to the Media Division at Strategic Air Command Headquarters, Offutt Air Force Base near Omaha, Nebraska. Mr. Wallace was then reassigned to Torreón Air Base, Madrid, Spain, in July of 1988, where he served as superintendent for public affairs. His tour of duty culminated with Operation Desert Storm, Iraq, in 1991. It was at this time the Soviet Union dissolved and the infamous Berlin Wall came down. Subsequently, Germany became a reunified country. President George H. Bush talked about the peace dividend and called for reducing a military's manpower, and this concluded a 26 military career. Mr. Wallace retired November 1st, 1991, at the rank of Senior Master Sergeant. Mr. Wallace received his Bachelor of Science degree from the University of Maryland in 1982. He excelled in his assignments within the food service industry and public affairs. He was recognized professionally by his base commander for his knowledge, expertise, and imagination in the kitchen, for his leadership and training of younger, more inexperienced cooks while on tour in Iceland. In public affairs, his stories were often featured in base publications, the Rapid City Journal, the military edition of Stars and Stripes, and even in professional publications such as Strength and Health and Aviation magazines. Mr. Wallace especially enjoyed sports writing and often authored stories on the subject matter of boxing, bodybuilding, and weightlifting. He wrote a story featuring Bill Church of Rapid City on his World War II experience as a prisoner of war in a German prison camp. Mr. Wallace and his wife returned to Rapid City in 1991. He was married to his wife, Mary, for nearly 36 years before her passing. Mr. Wallace is to be commended for his service to his country. His example of steward leadership and service makes him deserving of this honor, and we would like to extend our gratitude on behalf of the citizens of Rapid City. Thank you. Please welcome Mr. Wallace. We also have a great gift here. We have a mug and a gift certificate to downtown Rapid City for you, from our friends. And if you have any words to share, you're more than free to do so. Well, you can take this.
I just want to take this moment to thank Marshall Curtis, because he's the one who nominated me for this prestigious award. And here in the audience, we have a group of my widowed friends, part of the Widow Person Service of Rapid City. So I thank you all for your support. And thank you all for your support. Thank you.
Shots here. I want everybody to look right here. All right. Smiles, everyone. Here. 1, 2. Shots. 1. 1. All right. Thanks, guys.
That's the good stuff. We'll move on to our next agenda item. We have a special presentation from students from the School of Mines and Technology with regards to an energy study on this very building. And so the representatives are here. And just want to make sure, as you're coming up, Alderwoman Drew cannot be here tonight, but I know she's been a big part of the Sustainability Committee and has invited them. And so I just want to acknowledge her work on this and grateful for her invitation. And the floor is yours.
All right, guys, welcome. We are the Hard Rocker Sustainability Team. I'm Jamie Caffey.
I'm Sierra Doyle.
I'm Justin Nielsen.
And I'm Peter Carvalho.
We are a group of South Dakota School of Mines students. Particularly, we are with the EPICS organization. If you're not familiar with EPICS, EPICS is Engineering Projects in Community Service. It connects groups of students like us to community organizations who work with the organizations and kind of find the needs for their engineering projects. So for the last 5 months, we've been working with the Rapid City Sustainability Committee, headed by Mr. Kelly Moore right here. We have been working to find sustainable ways to save the city money.
Okay. To start looking where energy could be saved here in Rapid, the team looked at all the city buildings, and we ultimately decided on the City School Administration Center, or CSAC, this building. We conducted an energy audit using the template shown on the slide. We did this for every room and essentially quantified anything that uses power to function. From these results, we were able to have a better understanding of the energy usage in the building, and this gave us the direction to identify opportunities to reduce energy usage and ultimately save money. The team decided that there were 3 main opportunities for energy savings that we could focus on. First, the light bulbs. Huge amounts of energy savings can come from replacing the almost 2,000 light bulbs in this building to high-efficiency LEDs. Second, consolidation of office equipment, which includes things such as printers. This is a very high ratio of almost 1 piece of equipment for every person, which includes normal office items, and almost 2 pieces of auxiliary equipment per person, which are things that are not essential to an office. Third, the HVAC system does not provide consistent comfort in the building, which will also tie in with the auxiliary equipment. We will be expanding on each of these opportunities in the order shown on the list, starting with the light bulbs.
So, talking a little bit about the cost of replacing all the light bulbs in this building. Well, as seen in the slide, you can see that we divided those costs, the main costs, into 2 sections. The cost of the light bulbs and the fixtures itself, and the cost of the labor. As seen in the slide, you can see the cost of the old fluorescent, the current fluorescent light bulbs, and the cost of the LED fixtures and bulbs itself. And you can also see that the lifetime of the LED bulbs are 5 times longer than the lifetime of these current fluorescent bulbs. And that brings the total cost of the LED bulbs below the total cost of the current bulbs, because you'll have to buy less bulbs throughout time. You can also see that, in the total cost of the LED light bulbs and fixtures, it was also taken into consideration a sizable rebate from a utility company. Now, looking into the labor, it was estimated that the total cost would be around $7,000. And considering that the LED bulbs will last a lot longer than the current light bulbs, the times of replacement will be much less. The replacement of the light bulbs would be less frequent than with the LED bulbs than with the current light bulbs. So overall, the total cost of replacement would be $49,000.
So you can see here we've mocked up what your energy bill would look like with your current lights and with the LED lights. As you can see, that can save about close to $10,000 per year just on the energy savings, which equates to about 85,000 pounds of coal burned at a power plant. That would prevent 75 tons of CO2 from being released into the atmosphere. So when we take those annual savings and the initial cost of replacing the light bulbs into account, you can see you can turn an investment of $49,000 into something a lot bigger. The main things I want to point out on this graph are after 3 years, there is a break-even point when you have made back what you spend on the original light bulbs. The other noticeable thing on the graph is the fact that it spikes up once every 3 years. This is because you would, with your current fixtures, you would have to replace the lights that you currently have every 3 years around that time. So by switching to LED lights, you don't have to do that anymore, so you don't incur the labor costs and you don't incur the light bulb costs for that. So you save that money every 3 years.
So a brief summary of switching to LED light bulbs in this building. You will see a return on investment in about 3 years. The annual return rate is approximately 10%, and the total savings of the LED life, of the LED bulbs over the lifetime, is approximately $200,000. We think this is a good investment, and I'm pretty sure Donald Duck does too.
For the record, that's Scrooge McDuck.
We actually had a discussion about that earlier, too. Another opportunity to reduce energy is by consolidating equipment, which we've broken into 2 separate categories. The first is office equipment, which includes things, devices that can be reasonably consolidated, excluding personal devices. We approximated 6 devices per 10 people, while Energy Star recommends 1 device per 10 people. For those of you who don't know what Energy Star is, it is a set of accepted energy-saving guidelines that we've been referencing for our project. Although there is some specialty equipment that are essential to the office, even slight consolidation will save energy and even the cost of office supplies. Auxiliary equipment mostly includes devices to moderate temperature, such as space heaters and fans. This is currently 16 per 10 people. Although there's no Energy Star number for these types of devices, it is extremely high and correlates with a lot of energy and money usage. How can we fix this? By looking into the HVAC system. HVAC is the heating and cooling system for the building. The team realized the HVAC system was an issue because of the employees. While we were doing the energy audit, numerous people came up to us and complained about the temperature fluctuation throughout the building. We soon realized that the gradual restructure of the building and the addition of office spaces led to the thermostats not being as effective as they should be. Some thermostats are in closets, while other thermostats control numerous offices that aren't necessarily together. We realize this is a huge opportunity to reduce energy and save money, but we recommend further professional investigation to HVAC. However, if this issue is addressed, this could eliminate fire and tripping hazards caused from space heaters and fans. It would also increase the employees' productivity and comfort, as a happy worker is a productive worker. And back to our common theme, this could result in huge energy and money savings.
So now, to sum up everything that we covered in this presentation, we have 3 main suggestions for this building. To switch all the light bulbs to more efficient light bulbs, consolidate office equipment whenever possible, and further professional investigation into the HVAC system, which will help also consolidate auxiliary equipment. And any combination of these will increase energy savings and ultimately will save money for the city.
I think this project provided a really cool opportunity to build some ties between the School of Mines and the City of Rapid City. We would like to continue our efforts with this building or perhaps others. Some of the ideas that the team has came up with to continue looking into this building, because the school is eventually leaving the space, we know that the building will be reorganized, and that adds a lot of opportunities for new sustainable building features. Some of the things that we've considered are exploring building automation, such as occupancy or daylight sensors that could more accurately control the HVAC and lights, other systems within this building. Actually pursuing a real Energy Star certification, which will require first lowering the energy use even further than it already is, and then actually applying for the certification. We believe that this would add equity to the building because Energy Star is a very respected certification, and it would ultimately save you energy and increase the value of the building as well. And then really anything else that the council or our partner believes is important for our project. Another really big recommendation that we considered is a permanent sustainability coordinator for the city. In 5 short months, we students found about $200,000 in savings for the city, and we believe that someone at a permanent capacity could find the city even more savings. So this could be someone even on an intern capacity to consider that. We are the Hard Rockers Sustainability Team, and we'd like to thank you for the time that you took to allow us to speak with you today. And then we will take any questions you might have at this point.
Okay, thank you very much. I agree with the partnership, obviously, with School of Mines and us. I appreciate you taking your time. That's very awesome. We have a couple of folks in the queue. First, we'll go to Alderman Nordstrom.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, if I may make a motion to acknowledge this report.
We have a motion by Nordstrom and a second by Laurenti. You wish to retain the floor?
Thank you. I want to say thank you very much to your presentation. Very well thought out, put together, and really admire your willingness to come forward and doing all of this work for basically free. So thank you for that part. So this is not an expense to the taxpayer. So I want to say thank you very much for that part. Second of all is that I'm involved with what we call the CIP, or the Capital Improvements Program, or planning, as it's known. And if you can get that information to us on the CIP committee, if you want to go through Darla, who is your guidance, if you will, the liaison for that, get it to her to get it to us on the CIP committee. I'd like to take further review of this information. Not going to guarantee that we're going to get everything accomplished right away, or maybe even get started in this first year with your ideas. But I believe it deserves more scrutiny, especially when I'm interested in the changes that are going to take place within City Hall, and all the positive things that I think will happen with the HVAC. I think that's one of my sticking points here within the city. And so if you can bring that forward to us, I'd appreciate it. And if you also have a white paper to accompany this, that would be even a plus. So if you, and then I'm very interested in this slide presentation as well.
Certainly. We'll get
Thank
that to
you. Looking forward to seeing more. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now go to Alderwoman Armstrong.
Thank you, Mr. President. You all did a wonderful job. Thank you for that presentation. Water has seemed to be a hot topic lately, and I would love to see what you would recommend for water conservation for the building. As Mr. Nordstrom said, we are at the opportunity for some remodeling, and I think we should lead as a city council, and for our city government, we should be leaders in conservation practices. That's where we're going globally, and I'd like to see more of that here. So if that is something that you or fellow students would like to explore, we would very much appreciate that. Thank you.
Speaking of LEED, actually, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but LEED, L-E-E-D, stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. I'm actually currently pursuing a LEED Green Associate certification. It's essentially building standards that are really environmentally friendly, save a lot of energy, and we've been using a lot of LEED credits to actually kind of guide our analysis of this building and decide where we should look into exploring savings. So
I see a potential opportunity here, and I would look forward to speaking with you in more depth over it and exploring things that we can do together. So thank you.
Thank you. We have nobody else in the queue. Thank you all very much. The motion on the floor is to acknowledge. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you once again.
thank you.
Okay, next up, we are moving to general public comment. It's a time for members of the public to discuss or express concerns to the council on any issue not on the agenda. Action will not be taken at the meeting on any issue not on the agenda except by placement on the agenda by unanimous vote of the council members present. We do not have any general public comment forms, so with that, we'll close public comment and move to non-public hearing items, items 3 through 38. And here we'll open public comments for items 3 through 25. I do have 3 speaker request forms for item number 23. As a reminder, you have 3 minutes to speak per person. If you will please say your name and your address for the record, and we'll begin with Aaron Kruger. Hello.
Hi there.
You have 3 minutes, and just so you know, right up here you'll see the green light where my hand is, and then the yellow light will let you know you have 30 seconds to go, and the red light means to stop.
Can I pass these out?
Yep, you hand that right over there, and they'll pass it down.
12 copies. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, thank you. My name is Erin Kruger. I am a second-generation business owner of the property at 430 Main Street, which is Furniture Mart, and we want to remodel our building on the exterior. So you'll see in the packet that's being handed out, we've gone through 3 rounds of revisions on the exterior of our building. We have made all revisions based on direct feedback from the State Historical Preservation Society and the local Preservation Society, and that's why we're meeting here today. So if you turn to page 2 of your packet, you'll see a highlighted area that says from SHPO that states, if these additional modifications are made, we believe the project will not have an adverse impact on the historic building. SHPO goes on to state at the bottom of the page, the City of Rapid City will determine whether to issue the necessary permits for this project. So if you flip to page 3, you'll see that on November 30th, we responded, we made the suggested revisions, and we sent them back to the state, which is why we're now here to let the city decide on issuing permits. So finally, there's 3 pages on the back of your packet. You'll see the original building at 430 Main, which was Gamble's. You'll see the current building at 430 Main, which has some lovely burgundy awnings. And then you'll see the proposed building at 430 Main. You'll see the proposed rendering and the original building are fairly similar. So from a historical perspective, we've taken this process very seriously. We've met with the local historical society and made all efforts to adhere to the historical standards they see fit for this building. From a business perspective, we need to make updates to our building in order to stay relevant to retail shoppers that are coming to the Rapid City community. Our main competition isn't furniture stores in Rapid City, it's the internet. And there are a lot of empty retail spaces in Rapid City. We don't want to be one. We want to continue providing jobs for our staff, we want to serve our customers, and we want to continue remitting sales tax and real estate tax to Rapid City. So we've occupied the 50,000 square foot building at 430 Main since 1992. That's 26 years, which is 2 years younger than me. And we're proud to be downtown. We love it there. We think it's exciting. We think that it is turning into something beautiful. And we have supported downtown in numerous ways. We pay the max payment to the downtown bid board based on the size of our building. We contribute $5,000 annually to Main Street Square. We donate to the Downtown Association, and we've been a bronze member of the Chamber for over 40 years. We have supported Rapid City, and we want the city to support us in the changes that we want to see for our building. And so we want to remodel the exterior of our building. The remodel shows that we're committed to downtown Rapid City. It shows that we're committed to the city, and it shows that we're committed to staying in business. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kruger. Next up, we have Kay Alberts.
Actually, Erin is my daughter, and she did such a fine job.
Yep, that's fine. Hold your applause, council. All right. All right. We also have Lyle Hendrickson. And Mr. Hendrickson, just as a reminder, these will be your indicators. Thank you.
I am Lyle Hendrickson. My business address is 526 St. Joseph Street, Suite A, in the Duhamel Building, downtown. I am the architect for this project, or my company is the architect for this project. Really, Erin did a good job explaining the process that we've gone through. What I would add to this, if there are comments or questions that are brought up, if this comes to open discussion later, I would be happy to explain any of the processes that we've gone through. 3 minutes is not enough time to do that, but this is a great project for downtown and the development of the urban district moving east of the central business district. So hopefully we can get this passed so we can move forward with the project.
Okay, good to know you're on standby for questions. And with that, we will close public comment for items 3 through 38. We'll now move to consent items 3 through 25. Does any member of the council wish to pull an item for consideration? Alderman Nordstrom.
Here I go. Item 23.
Item 23. Okay. Any other? Okay. We have a motion by Lewis to approve the remainder of the consent items, 3 through 25, with the exception of 23, and a second by Lorenzi. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. We'll now move to item number 23. Approve the appeal, option 1, as recommended by staff, of the denial for alterations to the historic structure located at 430 Main Street pursuant to SDCL 1-19A-11.1 and RCMC 17.54.080 and parentheses 17CM007. And we'll now go to the motion. All right, Mr. North.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. President, I'll make the motion to approve appeal with option 1.
Okay. We have a motion by Nordstrom and a second by Armstrong.
Can I retain the floor?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I just want to applaud everybody that's involved with this project. I'm really looking forward to seeing this actually come to fruition. And you folks, thank you for your patience with working with the Historical Preservation Commission. It has also been called to me by hysterical, and it's very inappropriate language for people to understand that. It is historical, and you folks did a very fine job about meeting with the committee and the commission on coming up with a resolution for your project. You worked very hard with that group, and they reciprocated. And another kudos goes out to Sarah Hansel, who is our staff person who worked with you and our commission to come up with this compromise. It's a beautiful building that will be coming out of this project. Really looking forward to seeing this. Also, lastly, I just wanted to say, Mr. Hendrickson, thank you very much for taking the lead on this and helping us out through this project from beginning to end. And then lastly is that I see this building as being a gateway from the west end, or better known as east of 5th, the west end of this project, all the way to the east side of the city, of the downtown core area, which will be also anchored with the new Innovation Center. So I see your building in conjunction with all the other plans that are being put together with the downtown core. I just can't say enough about all the good things that you put into this, and thank you very much for your time. I yield.
Thank you. Now, Alderman Lewis.
Thank you. I didn't mean to, I was going to jump in before, and I was going to make a motion, so I'm good.
Very well. I'll just make one brief comment then, since the rest of the council's spoken. I think this is a beautiful-looking building. Thank you for doing business and investing in downtown Rapid City. We do appreciate that. And so the motion on the floor is to approve. All in favor? Or excuse me, option 1. There were 3 options. To approve option 1 as recommended by staff. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. That will now take us to non-consent items, items 26 through 38. And we will open public comment for items 26 through 38. I do not have any speaker request forms, so we will close public comment for items 26 through 38. And we'll move on to item number 26. And these are ordinances. And we'll go with, thank you. We got some reading to do. No, we cannot. We cannot. We have to read them one by one. Some good stuff, though. All right. So number 26, second reading.
May I take the readings as legal and finance?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go to Chair Scott of the Legal and Finance Committee.
We do have to read in each one of these tonight, so I'm offering to read up because I think I can read these fairly quickly. Item number 26 is the second reading of ordinance number 6224, an ordinance repealing Chapter 1.08 of the Rapid City Municipal Code relating to wards and precincts and adopting a new revised Chapter 1.08 of the Rapid City Municipal Code. I make a motion to approve.
We have a motion by Scott and a second by Modrick. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 27, first reading, ordinance number 6227, an ordinance amending section 17.06 of Chapter 17 of the Rapid City Municipal Code, a request by TSP Inc. for South Dakota School of Mines and Technology Foundation for a rezoning from high-density residential district to office commercial district for property generally described as being located at 324 East Kansas City Street, 613 Birch Avenue, and 615 Birch Avenue. I make a motion to approve.
We got a motion by Scott and a second by Lewis. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 28 is a first reading, ordinance number 6228, an ordinance amendment to Title 17 of the Rapid City Municipal Code by adding Chapter 17.66, Urban Commercial District. I make a motion to approve as revised.
We have a motion by Scott and a second by Lorenzi.
And if I can just make the comment, there was very minor revisions made between Legal and Finance in this meeting, but we do want to recognize that it was revised since the Legal and Finance Committee meeting. Thank you.
Very well. All in favor of the motion? All opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 29 is the reading of ordinance number 6229, an ordinance to include definitions, and I believe this should be the first reading of ordinance number 6229, an ordinance to include definitions for the urban commercial district by amending section 17.04 of the Rapid City Municipal Code. I make a motion to approve.
We have a motion by Scott and a second by Drury. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 30, first reading of ordinance number 6230, an ordinance amendment to Title 17 of the Rapid City Municipal Code by amending Chapter 17.06. I make a motion to approve.
We have a motion by Scott and a second by Armstrong. All in favor? All opposed? Motion
Item
carries.
number 31 is the first reading of ordinance number 6231, an ordinance to amend section 17.50.050 of the Rapid City Municipal Code to allow for administrative dissolution of planned developments. I make a motion to approve.
We have a motion by Scott and a second by Nordstrom. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 32, first reading of ordinance number 6232, an ordinance amendment to modify section 17.50.070 of the Rapid City Municipal Code. I make a motion to approve.
We have a motion by Scott, second by Drury. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 33, first reading of ordinance number 6233, an ordinance to amend the sign code to incorporate on-premise signage rules for the urban commercial district by amending section 17.50.100 of the Rapid City Municipal Code. Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion by Scott and a second by Modrick. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 34 is the first reading of ordinance number 6234, an ordinance to establish parking requirements for the urban commercial district by amending section 17.50.270 of the Rapid City Municipal Code. I make a motion to approve.
We have a motion by Scott and a second by Armstrong. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 35 is the first reading of ordinance number 6235, an ordinance to amend landscape regulations to incorporate the new urban commercial district by amending section 17.50.300 of the Rapid City Municipal Code. I make a motion to approve.
We have a motion by Scott and a second by Nordstrom. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 36 is the first reading of ordinance number 6236, an ordinance to amend Chapter 12.08 of the Rapid City Municipal Code to accommodate goals for pedestrian-oriented streets in the urban commercial district. I make a motion to approve.
Got a motion by Scott and a second by Lewis. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 37 is the first reading of ordinance number 6237, an ordinance to amend section 12.12.110 of the Rapid City Municipal Code to authorize the city to maintain parkways in the downtown areas. I make a motion to approve.
We have a motion by Scott and a second by Lewis. Alderwoman Modrick has chimed in.
Thank you, Mr. President. We've just ran through quite a few ordinance changes. They were all successful, and I just want to extend a thank you to the staff that's worked so hard for a long time. I can't even imagine how many hours that have been put in order to redesign and prepare us for East of 5th and beyond. It is a great urban change, and I see a great future in Rapid City and its downtown, so I really appreciate the work of all the staff and the departments that have put this in, public comments, public meetings, and design, and it's a great future ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, and now we'll return to Alderwoman Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I appreciate Alderwoman Modrick's comments. I'd also like to remind the audience, at Legal and Finance, we read the major ordinance change, which was item number 28 on tonight's agenda. The following ordinances pertain to the urban commercial district. This was the first reading. These will have to go through a second reading. So if you want to review them between now and the second reading and make sure that you don't have any questions or concerns about any of it, we welcome you to go ahead and read through them. But as Alderwoman Modrick stated, our staff has worked diligently. Thank you to everyone involved. I mean, I'd like to name out a few of them, but I don't think that would do justice to everybody else that I can't think of who did it. So just want to basically do a blanket thank you, because I know it's been many months, if not over a year. Yes, 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 yes. I see heads shaking in the background. This has been well over a year in coming. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And my final comment is this is about leveling up Rapid City. And Rapid City, it's time for Rapid City to level up, and that's what this does. So thank you all for your hard work. Okay. That will move us to item 38. I will read this in. Unless you really want to, but she did a good job on that. Item 38, approve award of total bid for Catron Boulevard widening project, project number 16-2343, and CIP number 51115, opened on February 13, 2018, to the lowest responsible bidder, Western Construction, Inc., in the amount of $1,518,356.50. Did I say that correctly? I think you see the number in there, 1518356.50. There's a note here, the amount of work required for this to be done by the contractor has been reduced from 50% to 40% for this project. We have a motion by Nordstrom and a second by Lorenzi. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. We will now move to public hearing items 39 through 63, and we will open public hearing for items 39 through 63. I do not have any speaker requests for them, so we will close public hearing for items 39 through 63 and move to consent public hearing items 39 through 58. Does the council wish to remove any items from consent public hearing? We have a motion by Lewis and a second by Lorenzi to approve items 39 through 58. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. We will now move to non-consent public hearing items 59 through 63. And nobody's going to volunteer on this one, so I guess it's on me.
I'll volunteer.
All right, thank you.
Item number 59 is a second reading of ordinance number 6217, an ordinance amending amending section 17.06 of chapter 17 of the Rapid City Municipal Code. A request by KTM Design Solutions, Inc. for DTH LLC for a rezoning from low-density residential district to medium-density residential district for property generally described as being located southwest of the intersection of DeGeese Drive and Big Sky Drive. And make a motion to approve.
We got a motion by Scott and a second by Nordstrom. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 60 is a second reading, ordinance number 6218, an ordinance amending section 17.06 of chapter 17 of the Rapid City Municipal Code. A request by Margaret Gross Hyatt for a rezoning from light industrial district to general commercial district for property generally described as being located southeast corner of the intersection of Dias Avenue and East Mall Drive. I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a motion by Scott and a second by Modrick. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 61 is a second reading, ordinance number 6219, an ordinance amending section 17.06 of chapter 17 of the Rapid City Municipal Code. A request by KTM Design Solutions, Inc. for Stone Ridge LLC for the rezoning from low-density residential district to general commercial district for property generally described as being located northwest of the intersection of Parkview Drive and 5th Street. I make a motion to approve.
We got a motion by Scott and a second by Roberts. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 62 is a second reading, ordinance number do I need to make a slight correction, because I was looking at that one as number 62, but item number 61 should have been approved in conjunction with the plan development 17PD057.
Is that fine with the seconder? All in favor of that?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Item number 62 is a second reading, ordinance number 6222, an ordinance amending section 17.06 of Chapter 17 of the Rapid City Municipal Code, a request by KTM Design Solutions, Inc. for ZCO Incorporated for a rezoning from General Agricultural District to Light Industrial District for property generally described as being located at the intersection of Marlin Drive and Burnelli Drive. I make a motion to approve.
Got a motion by Scott and a second by Drury. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 63 is a second reading, ordinance number 6220, an ordinance amendment to clarify uses in the residential districts by amending Title 17 of the Rapid City Municipal Code. Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion by Scott and a second by Lewis. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now go to the number item 64 for the bill list, and with that, we'll go to our Finance Director, Pauline Sumption.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. There are no additions to the bill list, so the total is that which is attached at $6,724,286.33.
Got a motion by Lorenzi and a second by Nordstrom. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. We have a motion to adjourn by Scott and a second by Armstrong. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? We are dismissed. Thank you all.